Brumbies over the Waratahs in what will be the last Super Rugby game review for a while. 47 points to 14. It's another bit of a hiding, man. We had a few of them this weekend. Blues, Lions, bit of a hiding. Crusaders, Sunwolves, bit of a hiding. Reds, Bulls, bit of a hiding. And now Brumbies, Waratahs. So definitely one of the most lopsided weeks of Super Rugby that we've had for a while. So, the Brumbies are looking like a bit of a force, even though they won't have any games to play for a while. And they were due to play the Blues as well, which would have been a fascinating matchup. And the Waratahs continue to struggle. This is the same score, if I'm not mistaken, as what the Brumbies beat the Sunwolves by last week. So that doesn't bode well for where the Waratahs are at if they're getting beaten 47-14. I mean, Rob Simmons said after the game he felt like they were kind of better value for the game than what the scoreboard represents. And he's probably correct to a degree. But the period when the Brumbies had a yellow card was pretty painful for the Tasman. They could just not unlock the Brumbies' defence despite having an extra man. Believe it or not, the Tars actually went out to an early lead. They got the first try through the aforementioned Rob Simmons. He stretched out. It looked like they had blown it, but he managed to get it done. And so, I mean, they in the phase leading up to it, they'd thrown an offload and Joe Powell had caught it, so it looked like the Brumbies had snuffed the attacking chance out, but they managed to go ahead, get the ball back and score a try. So 7-0. Solomon Akata got one back 5 minutes later though. He got a couple, and his return to rugby union has been pretty glorious thus far. Their maul went close, they had advantage, and he just got it from like a phase 2 later, so 7 apiece. And then now Juanita Wase, he got the next one for the Tars, and it was TMO'd because it was very close. It was checking whether he was in touch, his fingertips just pressing the ball down. So good stuff for him to get a try. And these guys were kicking the conversions from the sideline, man. 14 points to 7, the Tars were up. But that was the final scoring that they did, and I've said it before, I say it again, if you can't score minutes for like the next hour, if you can't score points for the next hour, then that's going to be trouble. Did I say can't score minutes? Anyway, Solomon Akata got his next one pretty much immediately in reply. Down the right wing, Banks with the line break and pass, and again a sideline conversion. So Lolosio and Harrison were both doing all right with the boot, so 14 apiece. And Neville got one right before halftime, similar to Simmons' one in that it was a big lock stretching out with the big mitt. To put the Brumbies up 21-14 at halftime. You looked at the stats though. The Brumbies had 63% possession, 66% territory at halftime. They were tackling at 90%. The Tars were 86, which is not bad. But actually, the Tars had more run meters, 248 to the Brumbies 218. So not that much more. But given how less ball they had, you would have thought that's a pretty good shift. And penalties conceded was 1 to the Brumbies, 5 to the Tars, so relatively low on the penalty count, but Tars 5 times as many. Second half, it doesn't start well for the Tars. Powell gets a try. Looked like he wouldn't make it, but Beale just went lame, man. His hamstring just stopped him from running, so he wasn't able to catch him up. Ordinarily, I think he would have. 28-14. And then under pressure, Jack Dempsey gets a yellow card for early drive at the line out. They were kind of under the pump at that point anyway, so it's one of those expected yellow cards. Tom Wright goes over for the try with the extra man not long later. 33-14. I think that's the only conversion they missed. Swain gets a yellow card for the Brumbies in kind of a reversal about 10 minutes later. So, yeah, Brumbies just under heaps of pressure. Get a yellow card warning, give away another penalty, and sure enough, he gets yellow carded. However, the Tars can't do nothing. They just can't break down that Brumbies defence, which was pretty soul-destroying, and it gets worse because they concede a try, another one to Wright. It was an intercept, and the Brumbies defence just kept holding. The Tars were trying to run it out of their own half, and they just weren't going anywhere, so eventually that that efficient defence from the Brumbies just capitalised with a try. And then right on full time, Banks got one at the death. He put some gas down back of a scrum. Muirhead with the initial break, and he was very good. So, yeah, Banks kicked the conversion for that one. 47 points to 14. As I said, a bit of a proper hiding. 7 tries to 2. They just missed the one conversion, did the Brumbies. Run meters, actually, the Tars still had more. 469 to the Brumbies 404. But you look at the tackling. Brumbies 84%, 156 tackles, so they were pretty solid on D. The Tars were actually 82%, which is not that bad, but I guess when you looked at one of those Brumbies tries, like right second one, there wasn't even anyone there to make or miss a tackle, so that's maybe a little bit deceptive in terms of the stats. The crowd looked alright. I guess given it's the last game of Super Rugby for a while, so a few people got out there, but maybe a few people were also a bit nervous about going, so didn't make the trip out, wanting to avoid crowds of people and all that jazz. It was a bad game for Aussie Rugby in terms of injuries. Ala Alatoa went off injured in the first half. Beale went lame, like I said. Carmichael Hump went off. Kata went off. Not that that's really an Aussie Rugby thing, but yeah, multiple guys went off injured, so that was a bit unfortunate. So maybe in terms of getting these guys back fit, a week off is going to be a week or 2 or 3 or 4, who knows, is going to be a bit of a welcome thing. Muirhead, like I mentioned him before, 86 run meters, 2 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten, 2 try assists. The guy didn't get over the whitewash himself, but was very impressive. Simmons, as I mentioned for the Tars, 13 out of 13 tackles and a try. Captain's knock from him, but a losing effort. So, yeah, that's the last game of Super Rugby for the foreseeable future, which is what Sanzar said. So there's not a lot else going on, man. I think Global Rapid Rugby has been shut down, Top 14, Major League Rugby, the Six Nations. I'm just waiting on the Premiership, but I feel like it's only a matter of time. If it hasn't been confirmed, like I haven't checked for a few hours, then it must be coming. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. I'll likely end up watching some old games if I can find any of them. So that should be a bit of fun. Still got a VHS player somewhere around the house, so might have to dust that off and see if I can get myself some tapes from Super 12 or something like that. I don't know, man. It should be a bit of fun for something different. Even if we can't see rugby, I'm sure there's still going to be stuff to talk about. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one. How did you think it went? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again sometime. Still got Dream Team tomorrow and Power Rankings the day after. It's what happens after that is still a bit of a question mark. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.